What's up, everybody? Um, Here we are, another Thursday night on the grind. I was not available last week because I was out of town on my anniversary. So I did really good. Everything is good, but we'll get into that here in a minute. Let me go on and thank all my sponsors real quick because I'll tell you what, man. We without these sponsors, man, we wouldn't have a show. So let's start out right here. All right. Next up in our host of advertisers and supporters is Thunder Roads, Indiana and Northern Illinois Thunder Roads magazine. These guys have a great magazine. If you're up in those areas, man, you got to go check them out. Get you a copy subscription. The magazines are awesome, good, high quality, great articles. They have their own sponsors and stuff. They have tech articles, they have pictorials, they have everything you want. Go check them out at Indiana and Northern Illinois Thunder Roads magazine. It's a mouthful. Next up is our good friends over at Squealing Pigs Audio right here in Baytown, Texas. Mr. Lonnie Revels doing everything from mild to wild builds, minor paint, stereo systems, everything you want right here in Baytown, Texas. Anyway, go check him out at Squealing Pigs Audio right here on Facebook. Next up is our good friends over at Print Signs and Designs. You got to check these guys out at 856-453-0336. As the thing says, printing, apparel, signs, promo items, vehicle graphics, everything. They've done all the posters for us. They did all the t-shirts for the Grind National Biker Build-Off in 2021. They offer everything, good prices, and they do ship. Tell them Kevin with the Grind sent you. Last, but absolutely not least, our good friends over at Urban Rides Magazine, urbanridesmagazine.com, Urban Rides Magazine on Facebook. Go check out Daniel Roby, Jason Silman, They'll hook you up. These things, these magazines, they're huge. First of all, they're really, really big, but they're really, really good quality card stock. I mean, they're badass magazines. They go all over the country, from stereos to slingshots, choppers, bobbers, baggers, anything you could possibly want is going to be in that magazine. Plus, they really support the grind. So you got to go check them out and tell them Kevin with the grind sent you. So, what is happening, everybody, up in the house tonight? So, I want to start tonight's show off and show you guys something, because I was in Vegas this last weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, came home Monday night. But I went by Counts Customs. Now, I've known Danny Coker for probably 15, 16, 17, for at least 17 years. No, we're not best friends. The guy probably doesn't even know my name, but we have met, we've talked way back before his show, and all this, that, and the other. But there's one thing I didn't realize about him, and let me show you guys this, because I saw it and it's hung huge in his shop. Is this right here? If you guys can see this, East Meets West Custom Motorcycle Biker Build-Off Show. You've got Arlen Ness, Corey Ness, Chica, Matt Hotch, Scott Long, Jim Nassy, Russell Mitchell, the Martin Brothers, Johnny Chop. It's hard for me to read it, but you just had so many, Danny Coker, Kimura, Trotta. There's just so many of the big dudes. But if you look at this, it was up for grabs, $15,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of the biggest builders in the country competing for $15,000 in 2005. Now, let me tell you the reason I'm posting this is because those were some of the biggest builders just in the country at that time. In their own rights, they were all celebrities. Biggest names competing for $15,000. My show, literally, what would that be? 2005, so 15 is 10, 20 is 15, 16. 16 years later, I do a show, my very first show, and it was $25,000. Now, the reason I'm showing you guys that poster is because the reason that I started the Biker Build Off was because I wanted to showcase novice builders against the big guys. For those that don't know, the original Joe versus Pro was me against Corey Souza. That's where it started. But Corey and his wife had to back out, and they were gracious enough. They didn't tell me exactly why. There was just a conflict in schedules, and they weren't going to do it. But they did it fast enough that I still had time to go out and find someone to build against, which we all know was Dave Mazingo from, I forget the name of his company, Sinworks. And as you know, I went up against him. It was a good thing. I did all my videos. Everything was great. Those videos have gone viral now, which has also helped promote this show. Everything's kick-ass. Everything's going good. But my whole point is to have your very first show be $25,000. From all the research I've done that I can find to put my hands on, the largest amount of cash money that was ever given away in a bike show, biker build-off type situation was $30,000 in Germany. Now, the reason I tell you that is we didn't have sponsors. We didn't have corporate sponsors. We didn't have big backers with bankrolls. These were the actual builders putting their money where their mouth was. Now, I have nothing bad to say about any bike show. When you compete against other bikes, that's good enough. From the Rat's Hole to the local mom and pop bike shows, those are all good. They make you feel good for what you're building, what you're put together. I support every one of them and always have. But what I don't understand is why some of the biggest builders in the country that I consider to be friends can't get things together to make shows like that more normal. You know, if I had the $2,500, which I do, I would enter my own damn show and pay $2,500 to bet on myself for the exposure. Now, I'm fixing to bring on James Lynch, and I don't want to screw it up, but it's the Bike Show Mafia is what he puts together. So I want all you guys to welcome James Lynch.
What's happening? Pleasure to be here.
What's happening, man?
Man, it's good to be on the ground. I've been following you for a while. See a lot of heavy hitters come on here.
I think it's freaking hilarious. You do not look like you sound.
What's that?
You don't look like you sound.
I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. Come on now.
So you're a lot younger and prettier than your voice leads me to believe. I thought you'd be all gray with this long ass beard. You know, you got that real deep voice.
After all this, I probably should have gray hair, but I'm old mode.
You could be like me and be receding like a mother, but that's okay, man. My wife likes me either way. It's okay. So, dude, I'm so glad to have you on here. You have a show that you have put together that is real reminiscent of what I just posted.
Right.
But you're only doing 2 builders.
Right.
Tell me about this show you put together.
And so, I mean, where all this got started, probably a lot of you guys out there seen the video back right after Christmas that John Shope put on there challenging Corey Souza to a drag race out in Sturgis. And I probably one of the first few had seen it. I was like 2 minutes, the video went live. And so as soon as I seen it, I'm on my freaking wheels are turning. So I'm shooting John a text, on Messenger and blowing him up. And, then we finally got it worked out. And we waited for Corey to get back for Christmas. And we sat down and talked. And, it was like, and $10,000. I mean, it's a lot of money, but, when these guys are used to building for big money back in the day, back in John Shope's era, when they were doing the big build offs, when the TVs were running. But, I'm a small guy. We got to start out small. And so we got it together. It's going to be a good time. I think I'm a little bit behind the 8 ball. We had so much going on this year. This has been a big year for Bike Show Mafia. We've done a bunch of big shows. We put on a rally in Charleston, West Virginia, and now we're gearing up for Sturgis in this build off. And of course, we can't do it with our great working partner, the Beaver Bar. I do all of our major shows with the Beaver Bar in Daytona, Myrtle Beach, and Sturgis, of course. And the Beaver Bar is the one putting up majority of the $10,000 cash prize. So I got to give a big shout out to the Beaver Bar for what they do for us. It wasn't for them, just like all of our other shows. All of our cash prizes come from the Beaver Bar. So or they are, they're a great organization to work with. She does a lot for us. And so I approached her with this thing, and she's like, heck yeah, well, let's do it, And so we've got it all planned out, and we're ready to hit it. I can't wait to see it. And, I think it was a perfect matchup between Corey, because Corey to me is more of the reserve kind of chill type guy, and then John Shope, he's full of freaking personality, and that I don't care about nothing attitude, and so it's that mixture I think was a perfect matchup, and not to mention they're both prime freaking builders in the industry. So, but yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. I hope we get a lot of people show up to Beaver that day. We got a few other things going on I'm working on now for during the day while we're there. We're going to probably do it late afternoon Saturday, the first Saturday at the Beaver. But we're trying to mix up a few little activities throughout the day for the spectators coming to watch. That's what I like doing these things. I love having the builders, and the builders is what draws the crowd. But I love getting all these great sponsors that we got, like Twisted Tea, Legend Suspension, all them guys. They just send us so much freaking swag, and I love giving the spectators.
My wife.
They really enjoy it.
Hello? Keep going, John.
Oh, Jim.
Jim. James.
Yeah, you call me Jim. Yeah, so yeah, we're we just keep throwing out A lot of swag, and that's we give away a ton of stuff. I mean, we have what we call our Mafia swag bags. We fill up for the entries, and we'll be doing a show. I think we do our regular annual show in Sturgis, the riding show on Monday, like we did last year, if I remember right. And we give away cash prizes during our shows and give away a bunch of I like entertaining, so I get more enjoyment out of entertaining than I do the rest of it.
So first, I apologize. I got tongue tied there. Called you Jim, James. I called you everything but your name, Jim.
That's all right. I've been called.
So here's what I have to say. I dig what you're doing. I like what you're doing. You reached out to me a while back, and we discussed a couple of little things. And I think it was before this was fine, all set in stone. And
Right.
I told you, I was like, man, it's good to go. It's good to promote these types of things. Let me put it to you like this. When you have big builders like that come into a bar and it's one-on-one, that by itself is it's an attraction to get people there.
And it's people's choice.
So that's what I was going to say. So now you're going to take the just the general spectators, and they're going to get to vote on them. I'm assuming like my shows where you have a ballot box and you vote for Corey or you vote for John.
Right.
Who tallies up the votes?
We're going to have a what my vision of this is to have a few of the sponsors there to tally them up, kind of keep me out of the mix of it, and keep anybody, just somebody that's not even really involved, who might even, I don't know. I'm still working on that end of it. I might even pull a couple of those hot chicks they got working at the Beaver Bar and the bartenders come up and count them. I don't know what route we're going to go with that yet, but that was a really good question.
Well, I know when we did it, it seemed like all of my builders always had wives or girlfriends. So we would make their wives tally the votes together.
Right.
Because, well, it is what it is. I wanted to stay impartial. I didn't want to be involved. Even when the very first one, it was me. My wife had to go with Dave Mazingo's wife, and they tallied them together themselves.
Right.
Have you discussed with Corey and John what happens if there's a tie?
We haven't, and that's probably what we need to do. Maybe if we have a tie, I just keep the $10,000 and pat them on the back and give them the belt.
Exactly. So that's what I was going to say. What you tell them is, hey, if there's a tie, we're going to give the money to Kevin. That's
there you
how we're going to do it.
Me and you'll split the money. Rather than split the money, me and you'll split it.
That's right. You two rich bastards built the bikes. You're going to sell them for hundreds of thousands of dollars. We need the money. I got to eat too.
Right. Yeah. We'll roll it over to the next show because we're planning on coming to Galveston maybe next year. So maybe we'll just roll it over to the next show.
Hell yeah. Well, see, that's something I also think that's pretty good. And a lot of people think I'm against trophy type shows, and I'm not. I support those just as much. The one thing I don't like about bike shows, and I'll say this to anybody that puts on a bike show, you will never convince me that you need to have 10 or 20 divisions or classes.
Right.
Never going to happen. That's too many. I mean, you're giving people trophies and they're the only bike in the show.
Right.
They didn't win anything. They just competed. Well, they pulled in. That's what they did. But yet they're going home with a trophy.
Right.
That's why when I did my show, it was, hey, look, there's two classes. Choppers and bobbers is one class. Baggers and softails is one class. There you go. That's how we're going to do it.
Right.
Well, when I was going to do this year's show, it was all going to be one class. You run what you brung. Build the best that you can build. And I got that idea from the World Biker Build-Off with Joe Martin, Russell Mitchell, and I forget the Australian guy's name.
Right.
But they all three built way different bikes from each other. You in one hand, you'd be like, well, they're not even comparable. But in the other hand, it's like, are you really doing the bike? I think you're doing more of the talent of the builder. What can the builder build?
Right.
Which the other thing I have this. Do you have something like this that are like the rules of the build off where they have to? It just basically lays out what they can, what they can't do, what they're responsible for. Or is your show just a hey, build a goddamn bike and bring it and compete?
Yeah, that's more. I left it kind of less technical this year. I kind of sat down with John and Corey and said, "Hey, this is you know, this is all about promotion. We're not out here trying to, you know, I don't know how it's. I think for now, we're just trying to build a foundation. I've got a lot of ideas where we want to move forward, but I think what this is kind of like a trial by air to see where see where the thing goes off. And actually say, well, okay, well, this looked really, really good this year. So yeah, let's move it on to Daytona and do something along maybe like say John takes the money in the belt because we got a nice Mafia belt, 6-pound Mafia belt for it, and then say he takes it this year in Sturgis, and then we give a chance for another builder to come in directly after Sturgis, say, hey, this is your opportunity to go for $10,000 in Daytona against John. Something to that effect. I mean, that's not.
I would take that bet.
Yeah, and that's. I'm just trying to. I mean, I'm not trying to. There's a lot of stuff that people compared stuff to like the old days. I mean, back in the day when freaking biker build off was freaking huge, and all this. I mean, that was a great era in the industry when it came to bike shows. I mean, these guys, hundreds, if not thousands, of builders, competed and tried to compete and wanted to be a part of this stuff, and so I'm just trying to do not so much what they used to do because I don't like to ride coattails or whatever. But the ideas they had back in the day were great. And then, but to me, and I don't want to insult anybody, but the bike industry and the bike show industry rather has just gotten stale. I mean, it's the same, and it's the same repetitious cycle. And I like to mix it up every year. Like when we do, say for instance, in the industry, Daytona's the kickoff of the season every year. Daytona, that's where you want to be to start off and to show off what you did for that ride on out, right? So come Daytona, we like to switch it up a little bit for Daytona and do something different for the next year, so we don't get freaking stale. As much as like first year we give out a bunch of trophies. We had some gorgeous trophies, but trophies they're cool, but man, they're so freaking big, and you get so many in your shop. And so we went to the rings, and the rings we give out is freaking cool. I got that idea from Ben over at Sound Wars. He gives out his rings, and I made up some Mafia rings, and we took a little bit step further, and we got some little trophy pedestals, and we put them on the pedestals, and we marked what they are, and put them in nice red and black. Their colors are obviously red and black, and we put them in a red and black ring box and give it a little bit of flair, so they like everybody else's. But yeah, we like to switch it up. So when it comes to what we're planning on doing later after this one, I think we got some good ideas for after this, and it all intertwines with Sturgis and Daytona, just to keep it fresh. And I'd like to see, I had several builders that got upset because, and they're friends of mine, and we discussed it. It was because I picked a guy like John Shope and Corey Souza, but for me to do that, to start something new, I felt like I had and not that these guys ain't got no names. I mean, these builders are very reputable, and I take nothing away from them. But when you talk about a guy like John Shope, I mean, he's came a long way in his career. He's got a lot of followers on Facebook, and he's well known. He's got, I mean, like you said, he's undefeated. He's got 5 hot rod magazines or hot bikes rings. And he's undefeated. So, I mean, of course, I want to go with somebody that's got a large following and a lot of, not just the builders know, but spectators, the general public in the industry know. And then Corey Sousa, he's really coming up in the ranks with his name, and so I thought they were a perfect build off. So after, like I say, after this fact, I like to, after this show here, I'm going to be directly on top of the next show. And I've got a few people in mind I want to talk to, and it's going to be more of the builders like that, the builders that hit our Daytona show or Myrtle Beach show, and the guy that has the smaller shops, you know, and get them more out there. I really like to get to where, I mean, my vision is love to see it televised one day. You know, you never know what's going to happen with it. But you know, that's where I'm at with that. I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, getting it on TV, and you can ask me personally because I've spent a shit ton of money making that documentary. Mm-hmm. You don't ever know what's going to hit and what's not. You and I think something is so freaking cool and it's so badass,
right?
But you know, there's all kinds of stuff out there where it takes time. Like my show, this show you're sitting on right now. I've literally been doing this show for 4.5 years. That's a long time to sit up every Thursday night and just talk about industry stuff. Talk to guys like you, talk to builders, painters. Still never had a seat guy on here. I don't know why. I think maybe I intimidate them because I do seats. But I don't know why I don't have seat guys. But all the young people coming up in the industry, like Michelle Lefrancois, that girl's a monster. She is going to be a monster in this industry in another year or two because she's so good at what she does. She's learning her craft and even going way beyond. And she's a social media guru. I mean, she posts stuff everywhere. She's good.
Right.
But, you know, when you sit here and you think, you know, because I actually had thought a couple of months ago that I was going to stop this stuff because it eats up so much time and there's no real benefit financially for me to do this. It's a drain on me financially. I have some sponsors. I picked up a couple of new sponsors and I enjoy doing the show. But anyway, it just became taxing is what I'm saying.
Right.
When I look at what I want to do to the industry, what is my ultimate goal? My ultimate goal, and this is going to sound rude, and I told you, is to shut motherfuckers up. That's what I want to do. That's my main goal.
Man, tough guy if you could do that because there's a lot of them out there.
Well, the funny thing is that when I say I want to shut motherfuckers up, it's twofold. I want people to shut up and quit talking shit about builders, upcoming builders, new builders, because the new builders are actually bringing the heat. They're bringing something new. I also want to shut up builders that are like, man, I'm the best there ever was. Nobody can fucking beat me. I want them to put their money where their mouth is. Okay, if no one can beat you, give me $2,500, step in the ring, and let's really see what judges say. If you want to make it general public, let's go that route. Right. I have an ambition for next year to get well over $30,000 for a single winner with a minimum of 10 bike builders. I would love it if there were 10, but it is my goal to get over $30,000 for one winner. The thing I want to do is pay them in cash.
Right.
I want them to feel nervous when they win. I want them to be nervous, like, holy fuck, what am I going to do with all this cash? I'm a target now.
Right.
Someone's going to rob me. I want to make the statement. Mm-hmm. So when I did the documentary and I did the build off in 2021, it was my goal to shut people up. And I feel like I did that because some people got in, some people didn't get in. Some people were bumping their gums saying, oh yeah, I'm in. And they never returned calls. I never called anybody out.
Right.
I said I would, but I just didn't do that.
Right.
I think what you're doing is cool. I think it's really cool that the Beaver Bar is involved with it because I love all of the bars out there, but there's such a history of all the bars out there, but there's not a huge history with the Beaver Bar. But in my opinion, the Beaver Bar is in the best location. It's got the best parking, the coolest setup. I mean, it's a perfect destination for Sturgis.
Yeah.
Whenever I go, that's where I stay. Come again?
It's 8 acres of asphalt. So you can't ask for better than that in the Sturgis. They got more asphalt in that parking lot than they do the whole city of Sturgis.
Yeah. You need to do a loud pipe contest and you need to do a burnout contest.
Yeah. We're doing, actually, at least John won't go to jail for doing a burnout out there.
Mm-hmm.
Seen that in Phoenix. He went to jail for doing that burnout out there. But yeah, I mean, we got some cool stuff working on. I'm even looking at maybe buying some drift trikes and have drift trike races out there. Just little silly stuff. But yeah, we're man, but really you can't ask. That's the good thing about the Beaver Bar, and I think it's known for that. You got the other bars. And I won't say their names, but they're more the rambunctious and if you're into that, you're into that. But I'm 52 freaking years old. I like to freaking mellow, chill, go down and have a good time, like you say, maybe see a burnout or two or whatever. And, have all the rowdiness, but the Beaver Bar is the perfect location for that, and they flock it and they really enjoy coming in there. And it's low key. I guess that's the perfect word for it. It's low key, but she's got the owner of the Beaver Bar has just got a vision for what. And if you've ever really talked to her, she is probably the most intelligent, and I say that honestly. I was in the bar business for many years, and me and her have a lot of talks about that from back in the day. We can have conversations about the bar business for hours, but she is probably one of the most intelligent women in the business. And by no means she takes no crap off of nobody.
Oh yeah,
she's pretty tough, but she's got a heart of gold. She really cares about what she does. She cares about the industry. She cares about her people. And I say her, and I mean that as the Beaver Bar. I mean the Beaver Bar is it's a great place. And I have to say, when I started this, it was the Beaver Bar that really gave us the start doing it. And of course, one of your sponsors from Urban Rides, Daniel Roby, he's the one that kind of opened up the door for me to get this thing going back in, I think it was 2020 maybe. I can't remember now. But he opened up that door for me to talk to the Beaver and put on a pretty good show, and now it's history. But yeah, that's a good bar. Probably the best location in Sturgis. I like it. I actually parked my truck on the asphalt. I stayed out of one of the other bars a couple of years ago. I think it was 2020. And I had more dust in my air filters in my truck. I couldn't hardly get my truck started.
Well, I know the 2 years that I went and I stayed at the Beaver Bar, it's a perfect location all the way around. It's got everything you need right there.
And if you're a vendor, you couldn't ask for better advertisement. That main stretch, I mean, to have you some flags up or whatever your personalized or your branded pop-up tents or whatever you're sporting out there right along that highway. I mean, you can't, like last year, I set up there last year. About 1 o'clock in the afternoon during the day of the Kid Rock concert, the traffic was bumper to bumper all the way to the freaking interstate. And it stayed that way all the way to the concert started. So they said, I think there was 160,000 people that went to that concert, Kid Rock. So you imagine 160,000 people passing you on that stretch of road right there at the Beaver Bar. You can't ask for better location.
Right. Well, it's a good thing. So when you first started getting into the bike shows, where did you actually start at?
I started at the Beaver Bar in Daytona.
And that was in 2020?
Yeah. I actually put this together, I think it was 2020. Yeah, it had to be 2020. This is my second Daytona show. What is it, 2022? It's 2021. Daytona 2021. So this will be my second year in Sturgis. So it is, I've transported motorcycles for several years, and I repoed motorcycles and ATVs, and I controlled the state of West Virginia as far as the repo work. And when COVID hit, of course, they stopped repoing and my business dried up. And I mean, I was still working, but it wasn't nothing like it was. So I thought, well, I need to do something different in the industry. And you know, I love this industry, and it's for me, it's an honor to be a part at this level of the industry. To, you know, it wasn't just so many years back, and I was the spectator sitting at the bar, you know, wanting that free stuff, and doing it all and over the bikes, and you know, being a fan of, you know, like Don Ogilvy from Eagle Iron. You know, I see his stuff out there, and you know, but now to be a part of it, to have them guys come to my shows, it's a tremendous honor to have them be a part of it. But yeah, so what I was doing, I mean, I literally put that show together within, I don't know, maybe 3 days.
Really?
Yeah, it was. That matter of fact, it was 2021 because it was a Thursday. They announced that they was going to have Daytona. They dropped the COVID rules, and Daytona's on. We're taking down the barriers on Main Street, and we're open like we used to be. So I called a friend of mine, Tony Cianci from Florida Full Throttle Magazine. I called him right away and said, "Hey, look, will I be stepping on any toes? It'll be a conflict of interest." You know, he was a sponsor of mine on my truck. I said, "It'll be a conflict of interest if I've done a show in Daytona." I gave him my ideas. He said, "No, not at all." And so then that's when it just started from there. Within 3 days, we had probably 20, 25 sponsors, including Legend Suspension, Karaoke. I beat them phones and laid out the format for it. And
so when you say sponsors, what did they give? Gift certificates, parts, cash? What did they do?
We do like Karaoke that year. They give us a $200 gift certificate for Karaoke Choice. They sent a couple people down from Daytona Harley there at Ross Myers. They set up and they picked their favorite bike, and we give them a trophy and a gift certificate for their award. You know, Legend Suspension sends us a bunch of shirts. You know, they're more of a non-monetary sponsor. Twisted Tea, they're more of a non-monetary sponsor. They give us I mean, we have so much freaking swag. We, you know, leading up to a show, you know, the behind the scenes of one of our shows is just unreal. I got pictures of my living room at my old house of just boxes and boxes stacked, not quite to the ceiling, but along these walls. And we got you know, my son, his girlfriend, all of us were all bagging, you know. So it's a lot of work with all the stuff that we get. And, you know, it's amazing the stuff we get that they send us. And then we got our monetary sponsors. We got several sponsors that pay us. We typically charge $500 a show, $750 a show, depending on where we're at. We try to get them paid for the year. That way we ain't chasing paper before every show. And then we do a lot of dealership shows too. This year we joined forces with Sound Wars. I think me and Ben's done. Ben and Sandy's done. Oh, I think we've done 2 shows together so far. We've done Charlotte down at Speedway Harley Davidson, and we just done Fox River Harley Davidson up in St. Charles, Illinois, up by Chicago. And we got that Smart Sound. Does that sound right?
Smart Cycles. Smart Cycle Sounds.
Iowa.
That's Andy. Yeah. Andy Smith in Iowa.
Yeah, that's the 16th. We got a show up there, and then we go on to Sturgis. But yeah, it's been an adventure. I tell you, if you ain't done a dealership show's great. I mean, I love my big shows. I love the rallies. Don't get me wrong, but the dealership shows are more mellow. Not so much pressure on me because, you know, we're judging the best of the best in the industry when we do a rally. So it's that's a little bit more stressful. But when we do a dealership show, we got our everyday riders come in, and man, they love them rings.
Mm-hmm.
And, but yeah, they're fun, and that, you know, we get a lot of ride-in riders too for our shows. It's not all big builders, and you know, we try to keep the awards, some of them awards, to where we can keep the classes separated enough so the ride-in guys still get to go home with something, you know. But Yeah, man, it's been a heck of a ride. I can't wait to. We got a lot of plans for the moving forward. You know, it's a learning experience for us. I've learned a lot over this past year. You know, we've had flawless shows and we've had horrible shows. So you know, it's we've had guys walk out excited and we've had guys walk out butt hurt. So you know,
You're gonna get that no matter where you go.
yeah,
I judged a show in Galveston in 2019, or I'm sorry, 2020. And when you lay the paperwork out, it's very simple. You take the paperwork, I give you a sticker that goes with that. You write your number, because we give you the number. Write the number on the sticker, put it on your bike, fill your name and everything out, and put your number on there. We gave the first place trophy to the wrong person. Didn't even own the bike.
that happened to Daytona. That happened. You know, Daytona this year is a mess because it rained so freaking much. And you know, we had a lot of good builders at that show. And it was and we went all out, and you know, we had a big Mafia tent set up. We had a bunch of Mafia gear out there. You know, I really did it up this year for Daytona, and the rain just killed it. And then you know, I had a friend of mine, one of the judges. He got overheated and got sick, and he had a split, and another judge had a split. So I was the only guy left there judging all these freaking bikes, and then of course the paperwork gets messed up. And we're handing out freaking wrong trophies, and you know, it was a disaster. But you know, but a lot of the guys understood it. I mean, but then the rain poured down, and when it rained, I mean, it rained. So that's what I was stressing. We got all these freaking $100,000 bikes sitting out there getting ready to freaking be poured on. And looking back, what I should have said was, "Hey, y'all cut out of here. Let me do the paperwork. I'll call you with your, with your award." But it just it was a mess. So, and that was a big learning experience. That's been our biggest problem is getting the judging down pat. So I'm working on some different avenues with that, kind of to separate me completely, and not even have the Mafia affiliated with the judging.
So when you go to different shows, do you have to pay to enter the show?
You do,
or is it free?
No, you pay. We give away about $2,500 in cash prizes. So we charge $30 for your first class and $10, I think it is, for each additional class. So we have, and we're one of those, and and you talked about all them classes. And that's something I'm focusing more toward too, is downsizing these classes, because I mean it's good in a sense because we got so many. We try to focus on a lot of the ride-in riders, kind of separate them from the big boys. But there's so many different styles of bikes out there now. It's like Joey Hensley in the America bike. He brought it to the show in Myrtle Beach, and he brought it in Charleston. And we don't really have. We did have, but we do really have a unique class or something.
It's a Road King.
Yeah. So, but
it's a bagger.
But there's so many different bikes out there now that's just outside the box. I mean, you got that. I think that one crew came to Myrtle Beach last year. I mean, I forget their names, but man, they just came out with some outrageous freaking bikes.
Powerhouse?
They may be Mexican dudes
from Houston.
Yeah, they got that one that's got like the freaking Dodge truck variant on it or something. And then there's one that's made out of all different car parts or something. I can't remember it now, but there's like 4 of them I think ride together, and they're big wheel, probably 26, almost. I wouldn't call them Schwinn bikes, but
oh, I know who you're talking about. That's not Powerhouse.
Yeah, they're completely out of the box, and so or outside the box rather. So it's like every time I do a show and I think I got it down pat as far as classes, somebody rolls in with something freaking different, and I ain't got a class for it.
So you know how you fix that? This is my 2 cents. You pick how many classes you want. How many classes do you want to judge? Let's say you want to judge 5 classes.
Mm-hmm.
When you fill out your paperwork, you simply put in there what class. You leave it up to the builder to pick their class.
Right. That's what we do as far as what classes we got. We let them fill out their paperwork. And that was another thing. That was one thing. We have a bike come in and, well, it's, we got like a Cholo class. We got a class. And then we give out an award to a Softail to a Road King. Well, it was in the Softail class. It wrote down Softail class. We don't have a Road King class, but it was written in there, Softail. So, so they got the award, but we just don't have a King class. So, and that's a lot of, and that turns into a lot of confusion. But we can only go by what's on the freaking paperwork. If it says that on the paper.
That's the thing. So when you go buy a Harley Davidson, a Road King, a Street Glide, or a Road Glide, there's versions of each one of those different models of that model.
Right.
But a Road King, a Street Glide, and a Road Glide are all the same format bike, which is a bagger.
A bagger.
When people walk up to me and say, "Hey, I've got a Road King. I want to be in this class," I'm like, "No, you're a fucking bagger. Deal with it."
Right. But when you take a Road King part and you put a dirty tail on the back of it and you Cholo it out,
it's a Softail.
It's a Softail. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you can put a pig suit on a freaking duck. It's still a freaking duck. It might not.
Yeah. But that's my whole point. How can he be, in my opinion, if it's a Road King with no bags and a dirty tail, he is a Softail. Exactly. He's not a bagger anymore because he no longer has bags.
Right.
So did someone throw a hissy fit about that?
Yeah, until they got a Softail. But see, on the paperwork it said Softail. So we're. I mean, I could walk up to a bike and I know. I mean, if I'm looking at the sheet and it says Softail and you're clearly a bagger, I know that's a mix-up. So I would go to the person and say, "Hey, look, this is not right." But when you got one that looks like you took a Softail Deluxe and stuck a Road King front end on it, it's still a Softail. So, but yeah, little stuff like that. So when it comes to doing the classes, I mean, we got to. I've lightened up some on the classes. I think we've done it long enough now to where we know exactly what classes to have. Of course, we do our antiques and we do our chopper bobber. I'm the same way. I got chopper bobber instead of separating them, and then we got. But the only thing I do different is what we're running into is with the industry the way it is. Baggers are they're the thing. So to have a Softail come in and try to compete against the bagger, it just don't. It wasn't working because the baggers just have so much more to offer than just a Softail. So what we started at Daytona this year was because I'll do a master builder. Excuse me. I'll do a paint champion, which is the master builder is $1,000. The paint champion is $500. And then we have two best of show. We have a best of show Softail and best of show bagger. And those are our top. Those are our money awards. And then we go on to we'll give out rings for but you can't keep up. That was what we was talking about in Chicago, because the fatties came out. Seems like they just came out yesterday. And then now they got a fatty 21, a fatty 26. Now they're getting the fatties. So it's like you can't just have one fatty class no more, or we're.
So hold on. So wait. So if I take a 2020 Road Glide and put a 30-inch front wheel and bags on it, I take another 2020 Road Glide, I take the fairing off of it, I put a 30-inch front wheel on it, and just a skirted fender, and I take a Fat Tire 2020 Road Glide. Are you saying those are three different classes?
Yeah, we got a 30 class, and now we got to move up to like a 32 class. So yeah, we try to break it down to we had a fatty class, a 26 class, a 30 class, and then we had like a mild custom class for a bagger. So we got our bagger classes, and then we got our regular classes. Then of course we do our ladies classes. We're big on doing the ladies. We do a show in like Oktoberfest is breast cancer awareness, but I explain that here in a minute. But yeah, so we break down the baggers as far as classes go and what they are. So now that's what I say. Now we had our fatty class, which was great because fatties were just coming, hitting the scene, and they're cool. That's actually the ones I like. I like the fat tire, and now they're moving up to 21s and 26s, and they just keep getting bigger. You can't keep up with the industry because they've changed so much. It's like an Apple iPhone.
See, that's where I feel like I become a dick.
Yeah.
Because if you have a Road Glide with a 21-inch tire, you have a Road Glide with a stock 16-inch tire, you have a Road Glide with a 32-inch tire, and a Road Glide with a 23 fat tire. I'm not making 4 goddamn classes for fucking 4 Road Glides. Those are all in the same fucking class. They're just who wanted what front wheel when they put it together. That's my opinion. That's that's where all the bike shows I've been through for the last 20 years, that's what threw me, because it always feels like, oh, okay, so everybody's getting a participation award. I don't like that. That's my opinion.
Right.
I'm like, no, a chopper and a bobber are the same bike. A Pro Street and a chopper are the same bike. A Pro Street, a chopper, and a bobber are the same bike. How you build that bike, man, that's all up to you. The antique class, dude, that would be the hardest class for me to judge, because antiques, are you going back to 1900 to 1950 as the antique class? Because there was a huge change in body style from 1900 to 1914. Those 14 years, the bikes were very similar. In 1915, they completely changed. That's where I would have issues with an antique class. But I'm like I told you, man, these are all just my opinions.
Right.
But I feel like everybody gets a trophy. That's how I'm starting to feel about bike shows, because there's so many classes. Somebody just posted, Ron Finch builds some of the wildest bikes in the world. Yes. And I don't know that I've ever seen a Ron Finch bike in a bike show.
Right.
He builds too unique, and he won't even put his stuff in bike shows. I could be wrong about that, but I've never seen one in a bike show. I've seen them like on the Easy Rider Tour, where they're display bikes, things of that nature. But he goes, you have to have multiple classes or no one will come to your show. A fat tire or stock bike will not show against the 34. And you're right. That's why I don't do bike shows. I do biker build-offs. But I agree with him. You know, if you're wanting people to come and pay an entry fee to your show, you have to have all those classes. I don't argue that point at all.
And that's where you got to, and it really makes it so difficult. It's a lot of freaking work. Like, you know, our very first show in Daytona, we pulled in 237 entries for that bike show in Daytona, our very first one. But you know, it was for our first show. I mean, I had to say it pretty much went flawless. But you know, we had a lot of help. We had Florida Full Throttle magazine down there giving us a hand. Dan Ruby was there. He was doing some MCing for our first show. I mean, that was a really good show to have that many bikes. And then,
so you had 230 bikes?
Well, 237 entries. We had probably, I have to say, yeah, close to it. Yeah, if I remember right, that was.
So how long does it take you to judge 237 bikes?
Well, we knocked that out. We was on time. We scheduled it to give away awards. I think maybe we ran over an hour, if I remember right.
1 hour, and you judged 237 bikes.
Yeah, 30.
How many judges?
How many do we have? We had 4, I think.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
So I understand.
We haven't been able to pull that off. Now Daytona this year would have been a big show if it wasn't for the rain. We would have probably pulled in that many or more this year. But but we're drawing more attention to a lot of the bigger players in the industry, which is another honor. So we're doing something right. I think. I hope we're doing something right.
Yeah, y'all are doing it right. I'm just on the other side of the fence from y'all, which was like Daniel said, the business side of a bike show. Of course, is to get sponsors, to get notoriety, to make money. I get that. I don't make money doing what I do. Everything I do is to prove, okay, are you a bike builder?
Right.
That's what I want to know. I want you to bring what you can bring. What you do and what I do are they both contain bikes, but the side that I'm on is the guys that innovate the industry and feed the other guys, like John Shope.
Mm-hmm.
John Shope will tell you to your face, he came up at the end of the chopper craze, which was it kind of stunted him because he built some badass choppers. He really, really did.
Right.
But he innovated the bagger craze. Well,
right.
For John wasn't pulling his bikes into every $20, $25 bike show. John was taking his bike and showcasing his bikes, and people that wanted to enter their bikes in the drive-in shows and stuff, they're buying all of his parts to make his bike. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not, I don't mean anything disrespectful. And I know Daniel knows me well enough. He knows I don't mean it disrespectful when I say that everybody's got to win. It's just two different things for me. When we did the 2021 National Biker Build Off, there were only 5 bikes being judged, and it took them 4 hours to judge 5 bikes.
Wow.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would love it if you came to Texas, to Galveston. I would offer to be a judge for you. I don't know that I would offer to judge 237 bikes though, because God dang, that's a lot.
I think we had like, I want to say 70 maybe bikes at Myrtle Beach this year, and I judged them by myself, and we still. I think I was done judging at freaking like 1 o'clock. We was goofing off and having a good time up till the awards, So, but then again, when you're judging some of these bikes, when you do like the Myrtle Beach and the Sturgis, not Sturgis so much, but Daytona, they're pretty easy to judge because you almost have the same bikes every show. And that's where I'm kind of changing things around. Jamie Hammond from Cycle Works down in Lumberton, North Carolina, he's a sponsor of ours. And, I told him I'm working on a few. I don't want to get it all out there, but I can tell you that I'm not going to allow, say if you come to Daytona, you win Master Builder, or you come to Myrtle Beach, you win Master Builder. That's the only time that season that you won Master Builder. You can't win. Say you win Daytona, you come to Myrtle Beach, you win Myrtle Beach, and you come to Sturgis, the same builder can win Sturgis. So what I'm doing, I'm going to start allowing them to only win once a season. And then what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to bring them back to Daytona, get the cash money up a little bit, and then have this is not the verbiage I'm going to use for like a King of the Hill type thing. So we'll have all of our master builders. We do 5 shows that year. We got 5 master builders. We're going to invite them invitation only to come to a location, and we'll have a people's choice type of award for them for the.
So that's always been a good topic. What is a master builder? What's the criteria to be a master builder?
Well, one, we like to see the guys that actually do their own work.
How do you prove that though?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, usually the builder brings the bike. We don't. We like looking at the next is a big thing for me. I don't like bottlenecks. A lot of people don't like bottlenecks. I mean, some people do, some people don't. But on a builder standpoint, I mean, the craftsmanship is there when you're cutting and welding and you're fabricating and you know and it's hard to. Oh, there's just so much that comes in play with the master builder. I think I like a lot of stuff that's unique. I don't like the same. I would say I think cookie cutter is a bad word. I don't want to insult anybody by saying cookie cutter, but you know you got a lot of baggers out there kind of mimic. The only thing really different is paint. The same way with soft tails. I mean, you got a lot of cholo stuff out there that look the same. But I like something that's got a certain like Bob
Bolognese.
Never can say his last name right. Thank you.
I almost call him Bob Baloney, but I love that dude. That dude is amazing.
Oh man,
his fit and finish is. I couldn't even tell you anybody else that I know that does it that clean, which there are. But his,
I mean, it's that's all you can do. It's just voila, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when you get into those kind of details, you know, I mean, that's to me is a master builder. You know, like Jeff Hunt's native tail. I mean, you know, Cycle Works did that one. Have you seen that bike?
Probably just don't recall it.
Look back through Urban Ride's stuff. And I don't know if he put him on the cover, but I'm pretty sure he's in the magazine. But he rolled that thing out in 2020 in Sturgis, and it's a soft tail. And I mean, this thing is it's the epitome of master builder. I mean, this freaking thing's gorgeous. It's a soft tail though. I mean, it's freaking gorgeous. It's really it's a bike. It's almost like Bob's stuff. I mean, it's pretty much flawless. So yeah, I mean, it's master builder is that's probably the toughest choice of any show we do is the master builder because there's so many good ones.
But I guess what I'm saying is it like if I built a bike in your opinion that was clean enough, that would make me a master builder
for our show, yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to be a well-known huge shop to be considered a master builder. Anybody can, if y'all think their bike is good enough, that instantly puts them in the master builder class.
I put it to you this way. I mean, you don't necessarily be a shop. I mean, you can build your bike in a freaking garage. If you build the bike and you bring it out and you set it beside a Bob bike or a Southern Boy Bagger's bike or, you know, one of these guys, and it's got the same flair and the
attention to detail, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If it compares to these guys, sure. I mean, you built the freaking bike. I don't care if you built it in your, you know, in the living room of your freaking mobile home. I mean, you're a builder, you know. So I don't, you know, but we're a ride-in show. You know, we're not a rat's hole. We're not somebody who's been around so daggone long that we're a staple in the industry. I've never even participated in a rat's hole, so I don't know what their criteria is, but I know the honor it is to have a rat in your shop, or a Perowitz paint tank. I can only imagine what that'd be like to have something like that. But and that's what I'd like to see eventually. You know, we get to that point one of these days if I live long enough to see it. I don't know if that'll ever happen. I might be just chasing the friggin' pipe dream, but I'm gonna have fun doing it right now. But you know, you talk about the business side of these bike shows. There's no money in bike shows. I mean, you know, it's about like you talk about what you do. The bike shows is, I mean, it sometimes they don't even, you know, make enough to buy dinner for everybody.
Well, see, and that's one thing I want people to understand is that you host bike shows. I hold and promote build-offs.
Right.
They're two totally separate things. I'll support the shit out of y'all shows as much as I can, anywhere I get the opportunity. I think what you're doing is good. I think it needs to be done. I'm glad you're going with Sound Wars and you're bringing the bike show back to that. Because, like, the stereos are on fire. And I think they're here to stay for a while.
Yeah.
I think they may get a little more crazy, but they're going to tone back some also. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
But I think what you're doing is good by doing that and having a, kind of like a point system throughout the year is what I would do.
Right.
If you're going to make it to 4 or more of the shows, well, then, yeah, we're going to give you points. We're not going to give you a ring. We're going to wait to the end of the fucking year, and then it's winner take all.
Yeah, we're going
back.
We're planning on Galveston. We're looking at freaking Phoenix. I mean, we're wanting to go to Vegas. I mean, we're wanting to hit all of them. We're wanting to hit as many rallies and shows as we possibly can.
Well, you're going to need some big ass sponsors because all that traveling expensive. I mean, in 2019 and 2020, I spent, in 2 years, I put almost 100,000 miles on my truck.
Yeah.
And it's a 2019 Dodge.
Yeah. Hey, I've got a 15. It's got 350,000 miles on it.
And what I do, there is no money in what I do.
Yeah.
I do have sponsors. Some are, sponsor for sponsor, and some are paid sponsorships. But it's a drop in the bucket to what I actually spend to put this show on, and then do the biker build offs.
Well, it's not only the money that you spend; it's the freaking man hours. I mean, it consumes you to. I mean, I call it chasing paper. I mean, to chase these sponsors down for every single show, and to the time it takes to put the flyers together, and there's just so much freaking work involved. So by the time, this has been a busy year for me. So by the time we get done with one, we're already working on the next, and then we're working on the next, and then we're working on the next, and then we're on.
Daniel Roby did all of my ballots for all 6 of my biker build offs. Oh yeah. So and that's why I say it takes a team to do what you're doing, and what you're doing is 10 times harder than what I'm doing because you're going to so many more shows and you're doing so many more events, and it's a good thing what you're doing. I hope you didn't get offended with the whole. I don't think everybody should get a goddamn trophy. I just don't. I don't like multiple classes for all this stuff. That's my opinion. But I think, and I agree with you and Roby both, you're going to have a lot of classes or multiple classes for what y'all do because it's different than what I do.
Right. Well, that's why I'm leaning towards, the build off thing. I'm very intrigued by the build off. I like to, it's all about promoting. I mean, they're like the build off. I'll make nothing on that build off out there in Sturgis, and that's fine. But for me, it's getting this name out here. So, and it's also, I'm more or less being paid to do what I like to do, which I've gotten into here recently, is the promoting. So I don't so much get paid as far as, say, like the Beaver Bar. They don't pay me to do that, but in a sense they do because they're carrying the giveaway money. So that's allowing me to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
they are enabling you.
Right. It's like, and they really are, because this is turning into a drug. I'm really addicted to this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you this much.
I got to do another show.
I don't know how, you say you've been doing that. This is your second year doing it.
Yeah.
We're going to stay in contact, but I'm going to talk to you and see how you feel after your 4th year.
Well, if I live 4 more years doing this, I'll be doing good. So, but I'm hoping, that's all about, and it's for me. I'm trying to get this name out there. I'm trying to build a little brand for us, and like we done Chicago. We sold some shirts in Chicago. I mean, then people really dug what we had out there, and that's where we don't make a lot of money off shirts either, but still, it kind of cushions the blow a little bit, and it helps get our name out there. Like we done Charleston, we sold. God, I don't know how many shirts we sold in Charleston. We done that rally, but it was nice to see. I came driving through Charleston shortly after that rally, just a few days afterwards, and I actually seen a cat walking across the bridge with the Mafia shirt on.
Right on.
So that's what I like. I like seeing our name out there floating around everywhere.
Absolutely.
So but I'm we definitely need to stay in contact. I like to start working you guys on a little bit more of a better level. You know, I've had extensive conversations with the Beaver Bar about the grind, and you know, they find you very reputable, and you know, she's always telling me I need to work
Well,
with you.
I'm just getting to the point, and this has nothing to do with you, her. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just so sick and tired of bullshit. And I've been in it long enough now. I can say I have dealt with every level of bullshit you can throw at me. And it's just like, I don't have time for that shit anymore. So now what I'm doing is still doing my show, but I'm going to become a little more hard with bike builders.
Right.
I expect stuff. I expect people to do what they say they're going to do. I expect people to back up what they say they're going to do. And I don't have time for negativity. I don't have time for calling motherfuckers out. I don't need to do that part of it. What I need to do is, this is what happened. They're not here. Why they're not here, I don't know. Their word is no good with me anymore. And that's enough call out for me.
Right. Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, the freaking drama that comes along with this, I've never understood that, because I tell you, I mean, this has not been an easy year and a half, I guess, for me doing these bike shows, because it's been, you know, I have really, it's been an uphill battle. It's like, you know, I've been told I haven't been liked. I haven't been told that. You know, it's just been said that, well, I don't like him. Well, you know what? MF, you ain't never freaking met me. So how you not like me? And not that I freaking care that you don't like me, but you know, I want people to like me, because I'm in the promoting business now. I want people to freaking like me. I don't want
I'm in the boat now, bro. I could give two fucks if you like me.
But I got certain ones I can give shit less.
Well, see, the thing is I appreciate what you're saying. I want to be a likable guy. I want people to trust me. I want people to know that when I say I'm going to do something, I do it.
Right.
But after getting accused of some of the shit that I've been accused of,
right.
I was like, are you high?
Yeah.
You know, I had one guy tell me, well, the only reason you're doing this is for the money. And I'm like, bitch, what money? I said, dude, every single year, and I can show you receipts, I spend out of my own, which American Drag Seats, my company.
Right.
That company right there spends $10,000 a year just for the grind.
Right.
And people are like, well, like this show, this format, it fucking costs me money every night that I do it. Right. There's just so much stuff involved with it, but you spend that money,
right.
And like you guys, I don't have a way to make money off mine other than the traffic and the popularity of the show. Now, I do have some sponsors, so I'm getting a little bit of that money back now, and it's okay. I'm cool with that. But your shows, I don't know, like, and this is just me talking, if you get $25 a bike to enter your show, are you keeping any of that for yourself? How much of it are you giving back to the winners of the bike shows? It's none of my business, and you don't have to answer that question. I'm just proposing it, that you have an ability to make money. I don't know how you travel as much as you do. I don't have time to travel that much.
See what all we bring to the table. I mean, there's really not a lot of money in it. I mean, say we make, I'm just going to throw a number out there. Say we make $6,000.
Yeah.
And entry fees. But by the time Daytona's by far one of my best shows, because I live in Daytona, so I ain't got no travel expenses in it.
Hell yeah.
But you know, when you look at the merchandise we're building out there, I mean, we got shirts, we got hats, we got koozies, we got freaking coffee mugs. I mean, we're working on Mafia socks. We're just making so much freaking crap. So when you figure out those expenses, that's where, you know, I'm very grateful to the Beaver for covering the money that we give away, because, you know, and that's my vision of that is, we want to grow our bike show to where it's profitable enough to, if we're making money off our merchandise, to where we can relieve that burden of the Beaver Bar from giving away the money. So once we get to that point, we'll use that money or sponsor money that we raise when we get more, because we got more non-monetary sponsors than we do money sponsors. So like you, majority of the stuff we do is out of pocket. Mm-hmm. And so if we ever get to that point to where we have, you know, $5,000-$10,000 worth of sponsors for, say, like a show like Daytona, you know, we could pull back that money from the Beaver Bar and say, look, you know, we made enough money on sponsors. We got the giveaway money now, and you know, and that might be 3-4 years down the road. I don't know how long it's going to take to do that if we get to that point. I might get frustrated with it at some point and that's why I like changing stuff up every year, because I don't like I can't do the same thing every time. Every day, it drives me freaking crazy. I got to do something different. So, I might get bored with it in freaking 4 or 5 years and decide, you know, well, this ain't freaking worth it anymore, because we're still having the Beaver Bar pay out the money, and we're still making X amount of dollars, and we're selling 20 T-shirts.
So I have an idea for you, but it's getting late, and I got to get up early, and you're actually ahead of me. So it's what, midnight it's 11:15 your time.
Yeah.
But hit me up tomorrow, because I have an idea about your show that might benefit you and me both.
Okay. Yeah, let's get together. I like to work with you guys. You know, and you mentioned all your sponsors there in the beginning. I just want to put a shout out to all our sponsors. We got a lot of amazing sponsors. You know, Twisted Tea, Shaky Tees Polish Shop. We got Cycle Works. We got Leisure Suspension. Just to name a few. I can't, you know, of course, our favorite, the Beaver Bar venue. And then, you know, we've had a lot of good working relationships with Florida Full Throttle Magazine and Urban Rides Magazine, and we've been trying to get in touch with. I've been talking to Easy Rider Magazine. We've been doing stuff. So myself, I like the old school bikes. I like them older bikes. I like my Cholo bikes and them old school bikes. We're actually rolling out a bike for Sturgis or Daytona this year. That we're gonna blow some eyeballs, but we're going to hit the chopper scene this year. But yeah, man, yeah, give me a call tomorrow. I'd love to start working with you guys, and on a little bit different level. Maybe we can get down to Galveston for next November, and I'll bring Sound Wars down with me if we can get a venue down there, and we'll see if we can make us a 200 bike show down there or something.
Cool. Well, I have a good idea. But anyway, bro, well, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate you. Let me know if I can do anything to help support. I will. Any shows you want to advertise before, just reach out to me and we'll have you on 10-15 minutes, let you promote those shows before they actually happen.
Okay, that'll work. Yeah, we'll have to stay in touch for Sturgis. Maybe we can get you that's going to be a Saturday afternoon live show, so maybe we'll do something. Maybe we can get you tied into this thing up there in Sturgis somehow.
Right on.
I know you talk to John all the time. We'll talk more about that. But I appreciate you guys having me on, and y'all take care. Y'all know how to reach me here on Facebook.
All right, brother. Well, go have a good day, man. I'll talk with you later.
All right. God bless.
Well, there you go. Bike Show Mafia. Jim Lynch. James Lynch on his Facebook page. But anyway, we went over tonight. I appreciate you guys. You guys be sure to push the share button. Go to YouTube, the Grind Biker Build Off. Follow us on YouTube. Leave a comment. And share the videos. Share them everywhere. Share the Facebook videos. Share the Grind page videos. Share my personal page videos. Do it. It's all good.